Maya had always imagined university would be different. A fresh start. A place where the labels from high school would peel away like old paint, revealing the person she'd always wanted to be underneath. The first few weeks at Riverside University had been promising. Her roommate, Jen, was friendly enough, and her literature classes felt like coming home. She'd even mustered the courage to join the campus newspaper, something she'd dreamed about for years. But then came the photography assignment. Professor Chen had asked each student to submit a photo essay exploring identity. Maya had poured her heart into it, using self-portraits that showed her Pakistani heritage, her love of poetry, her struggles with anxiety. She thought it was brave, honest, real. She didn't expect it to become ammunition. It started small. A screenshot of one of her photos appeared on a group chat she wasn't part of with a mocking caption. Someone had added her face to a meme, then another. By the end of the week, people she'd never spoken to were laughing at inside jokes about her. The ringleader was Tyler Chen, the professor's nephew, who seemed to take Maya's earnestness as a personal insult. He was charismatic, popular, the kind of person who could make cruelty look like comedy. His friends followed his lead like satellites orbiting a planet. "Hey, deep thoughts," Tyler called out one day as Maya walked into the student union. His friends snickered. The nickname stuck, delivered with just enough irony to make everything she said sound pretentious. Maya tried to ignore it. She told herself that these people didn't matter, that she was here for her education, not to make friends with bullies. But ignoring bullying doesn't make it disappear. It just makes it quieter, more insidious. The comments on her newspaper articles became increasingly harsh. Anonymous accounts flooded her social media with criticism. Someone created a parody account mocking her writing style. In class, people would exchange glances when she spoke, as if sharing a private joke at her expense. The worst part wasn't the mockery itself. It was the isolation. People who might have been friends kept their distance, unwilling to risk association. Even Jen started spending more time at her boyfriend's dorm, leaving Maya alone with her thoughts more often than not. By midterm, Maya had stopped raising her hand in class. She stopped posting her articles with pride. She stopped eating in the dining hall, preferring to grab food and hide in her room. The person she'd hoped to become at university was shrinking, folding inward like origami in reverse. One Tuesday evening, as she sat alone in the library, she overheard Tyler and his friends at a nearby table. "I heard she's quitting the newspaper," one of them said. "Good," Tyler replied. "Her stuff was so self-important anyway, like we get it, you have feelings." Maya's hands trembled. She gathered her books quietly, trying to leave without being noticed, but knocked over her water bottle. The sound echoed through the quiet library. "Careful, deep thoughts," Tyler called out. "Wouldn't want you to write a poem about that traumatic experience." His friends erupted in laughter. Maya fled, tears blurring her vision. She sat in the fourth-floor bathroom for 20 minutes, crying silently into her hands. When she finally looked up, she caught her reflection in the mirror. She barely recognized the girl staring back, shoulders hunched, eyes hollow, all the light gone. This wasn't who she was. This wasn't who she wanted to be. Maya pulled out her phone and did something she'd been avoiding for weeks. She called her older sister, Zara. "Maya, what's wrong? It's almost midnight there." The whole story tumbled out. The photos, the mocking, the isolation, the way she'd become a ghost of herself. Zara listened without interrupting. When Maya finally fell silent, exhausted, her sister spoke quietly. "Do you remember when you were 12, and those girls in middle school called you a terrorist because of your name?" Maya nodded, even though Zara couldn't see her. "Do you remember what you did?" I wrote that essay for the school newspaper." "You wrote an essay about what it felt like to be treated like you didn't belong in your own country. You made people see you. And some of those same girls apologized later, remember?" Maya did remember. She'd forgotten that version of herself, the one who turned pain into purpose. "You taught me something then," Zara continued. "You taught me that the antidote to being misunderstood isn't silence. It's speaking louder. not angrier, louder, making yourself so undeniable that people have to see the real you. The next morning, Maya made a decision. She wasn't going to quit the newspaper. She wasn't going to hide. She was going to do exactly what Zara had reminded her she knew how to do: tell her story. She wrote an article titled "The University Nobody Talks About: Campus Bullying and the Culture of Cruelty." She didn't name names, but she was specific about her experiences: the memes, the mockery, the slow erosion of self-worth that bullying creates. She wrote about how social media had weaponized everyday cruelty. She wrote about the bystanders who said nothing. Most importantly, she wrote about the cost, not just to her, but to everyone who'd ever been made to feel small for being themselves. When the editor read it, she called Maya immediately. "This is powerful. Are you sure you want to publish this? It might make things worse before they get better." "I'm sure," Maya said, and she was. The article went live on a Friday. By Monday morning, it had been shared hundreds of times on campus. The response was overwhelming. Some people mocked it, of course. Tyler's friends called it attention-seeking, but many more people responded with their own stories. Students Maya had never met approached her in the dining hall, thanking her for putting words to experiences they'd suffered in silence. A sophomore named Derek told her he'd been cyberbullied by his former fraternity. A grad student named Sarah shared that she'd almost left her program because of a professor who humiliated her publicly. Even some of the people who'd stood by silently while Maya was mocked reached out to apologize. The article caught the attention of the dean of students, who launched a campus-wide initiative on digital citizenship and inclusive community. Professor Chen held a class discussion about empathy and art criticism, looking pointedly at his nephew the entire time. Tyler himself never apologized. Some people never do, but Maya noticed that his orbit seemed to shrink after that. Being cruel was less fun when people were paying attention. The change wasn't instant or complete. Maya still had hard days. She still felt anxious sometimes when walking into a room, but something fundamental had shifted. She'd learned that she had a choice in how she responded to cruelty. She could shrink or she could expand. She could hide or she could speak. She could let bullies define her story or she could write her own. 3 months later, Maya was sitting in the newspaper office when a first-year student named Emma knocked tentatively on the door. "Hi," Emma said quietly. "I read your article. I'm being bullied by some people in my dorm and I don't know what to do." Maya pulled out a chair. "Sit down, let's talk." As Emma poured out her story, Maya realized something. Pain, when transformed, becomes purpose. Her suffering hadn't been meaningless. It had prepared her for this moment, to be the person for someone else that she'd needed for herself. University did turn out to be different from high school, just not in the way Maya had imagined. It wasn't a place where cruelty magically disappeared. It was a place where she learned that she was stronger than the worst things people said about her. She learned that vulnerability could be armor, that truth could be a weapon against lies, and that the people who tried to make her smaller had really just revealed their own limitations. Most importantly, she learned that she didn't need to be invisible to be safe. She could be visible, vocal, and vulnerable, and that was not only okay, it was powerful. The girl in the mirror looked different now. Same face, same dark eyes, same uncertain smile. But there was something else there too, something that Tyler and his cruelty could never touch. There was knowing, hard-won and honest. The knowing that she could be broken and still choose to be brave, that she could hurt and still choose to help, that she could be bullied and still choose not to become small. Maya wasn't the person she'd hoped to be when she arrived at university. She was someone better, someone real, scarred, and strong. Someone who knew that the weight of cruel words was heavy, but the weight of staying silent was heavier still. And that made all the difference.